Like, comment, and subscribe.
Jericho. The name alone conjures up this one incredible image, right? Walls tumbling down to the sound of trumpets. But what if I told you the true story of Jericho's walls is way older, far stranger, and reveals a battle not of conquest, but of sheer survival at the very dawn of civilization? So let's dig into the layers of myth and mud to find out what was really going on 10,000 years ago. First things first, let's talk about the story everyone thinks they know, the one that put this ancient city on the map for explorers in the first place. You know the story. It's the biblical tale of Joshua and his army. They march around the city, they blow their trumpets, and bam, the walls just collapse. It's one of the most famous conquest stories ever told. And it's this exact legend that drove archaeologists for more than 100 years to dig into the ground here, hoping to find physical proof of this epic event. And boy, did they search. Archaeologists like John Garstang and leader the famous Kathleen Kenyon spent decades meticulously excavating the site. But here's the thing. While the specific walls from Joshua's time proved to be surprisingly hard to find, their shovels hit something else entirely. Something far more ancient and, frankly, way more astonishing. They had to dig deeper, way deeper, peeling back the layers of time, past the city from the Bible, and into a period of human history that's almost unimaginably remote. What they found down there was a complete game changer, a massive stone wall and this huge, imposing tower. But these weren't from Joshua's time. No way. They belonged to a period called the Pre-Pottery Neolithic A, or PPNA. This is a time before people had even figured out how to make pottery. Humanity was just learning to farm, just starting to build permanent homes for the first time. This wasn't just old, this was revolutionary. And just look at this timescale. The tower and wall were built around 8000 BC. That's nearly 7,000 years before the biblical story of Joshua is even supposed to have happened. We're talking about a structure that's closer in time to the last ice age than it is to the Roman Empire. This discovery completely changed our understanding of what early human civilization was capable of. So, put yourself in their shoes. You unearth a gigantic wall and a tower from 10,000 years ago. What's the first thing you think? Well, for the excavators, the answer seemed pretty obvious: defense. Archaeologist Kathleen Kenyon looked at these incredible structures and concluded they could only mean one thing. They were built to fortify the settlement against human enemies. And with that single interpretation, Jericho was crowned the world's very first fortified town. It suggested that organized warfare existed thousands of years earlier than anyone had previously imagined. And the scale of this project was just staggering. The tower alone stood 9 meters high. That's like a 3-story building, meticulously constructed by people who hadn't even invented pottery yet. Now think about the weight of it, an estimated 1,000 tons of stone. Can you imagine the organization and the sheer manpower it would take to move and stack that much rock without any modern machinery? And to top it all off, calculations suggest that building just the wall took about 10,400 work days. For a small early farming community, this was an absolutely colossal investment of their time and energy. And this is where the whole fortress theory starts to crumble. Because if this was built for defense, you have to ask one simple yet really profound question. Yeah, when you look closer, a lot of things just don't add up. Archaeologically, there's just no evidence for widespread warfare from this period. And if Jericho was so heavily fortified, why are there no other fortified sites anywhere in the Near East for thousands of years? And the real head-scratcher, why on earth would you build your main defensive tower inside the wall where it would be way less effective for spotting attackers? These nagging questions led another archaeologist, Ofer Bar Yosef, to propose a radical new theory, one that paints a completely different picture of what life was like in ancient Jericho. What if the enemy wasn't human at all? Bar Yosef suggested that these massive structures weren't a defense against armies, but a sophisticated defense system against a far more relentless foe, nature itself, in the form of catastrophic floods and mud flows. Now, to get this theory, you have to look at a map. Jericho sits on a slope right at the bottom of the Judean hills. It's bordered by wadis, which are these dry riverbeds that can suddenly turn into raging torrents during seasonal rains, bringing down devastating flash floods and mud from the hills above. This one shift in perspective changes everything. You see, Kenyon's interpretation gives us a world of early, organized warfare, man versus man. But Bar Yosef's theory tells a story of incredible human ingenuity and adaptation to a dangerous environment, man versus nature. And the tower? It transforms from a simple military lookout into a communal structure, maybe a place for ceremonies or a symbol of the community's survival. So which story do the stones themselves tell? What does the archaeological record actually show us when we look at it through this new lens? And the evidence is hiding in plain sight. Using Kenyon's own detailed excavation notes, we can see a clear sequence of events. First, a ditch is dug in front of the wall, perfect for diverting water flow. Then, that ditch rapidly fills up with silt, exactly what you'd expect from a mud flow. Eventually, the walls themselves are buried by this natural accumulation. It's a clear story of fighting water and mud, not other people. And what about that tower? Its strange placement inside the wall and its amazing state of preservation now make a lot more sense. It wasn't just a watchtower to be abandoned when a new wall was built. It was likely a central, significant place for the community, a monument to their collective effort to survive and thrive in a pretty challenging landscape. The story of Jericho really challenges us to rethink how we interpret the ancient past. It makes you wonder, when we look at these great monuments of antiquity, are we always seeing tales of kings and wars? Or are some of the greatest stories actually hidden tales of human resilience, ingenuity, and the timeless struggle against the forces of nature? That's it for this deep dive into Jericho. There are countless stories just like this hidden just beneath the surface of history. To uncover more of them with us, make sure you subscribe.